Today, we're diving into the secret world of steroids through the lens of Rich Piana, the most transparent bodybuilder. Discover what lies behind those muscle-bound giants. By the end of this video, you'll have an eye-opening perspective on steroid use in bodybuilding, straight from a man who lived it. Rich Piana's story isn't just about steroids. It's a tale of ambition, transparency, and the high stakes of bodybuilding fame. In Glendale, California, he was introduced to bodybuilding at a very young age, as his mother was a bodybuilder herself. He was fascinated by the sport, and by the age of 6, he had his own weight set. He idolized bodybuilders like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, and Franco Columbu, and dreamed of becoming one of them. He started competing in bodybuilding shows when he was 11, and by the time he was 15, he had won his first title, Mr. Teen California, and became a professional bodybuilder by the age of 22. He was passionate about bodybuilding and dedicated his life to it, but he also realized that there was a dark side to the sport: steroids. Rich Piana first encountered steroids when he was 18 years old. He was competing in a show, and he noticed that some of the other competitors looked much bigger and more muscular than him. He asked them what they were doing, and they told him they were using steroids. He was curious and decided to try them himself. He bought a bottle of testosterone and a bottle of durabolin and started his first cycle. He was amazed by the results, and his strength and endurance skyrocketed. He felt like a superhuman, and he loved it. He thought he had found the secret to becoming a champion, but he also learned that steroids came with a price. He experienced side effects like acne, hair loss, mood swings, and gynecomastia. He also realized that steroids were not a magic pill, but a tool that required hard work, discipline, and knowledge. He had to learn how to use them properly, how to cycle them, how to stack them, and how to deal with the consequences. Rich Piana continued to use steroids throughout his bodybuilding career and beyond. He experimented with different compounds, dosages, and protocols, and developed his own steroid regimen. He was not shy about it either. Unlike many other bodybuilders who denied or lied about their steroid use, Rich Piana was open and honest about it. He talked about steroids in his YouTube videos, his interviews, and his social media posts. He even showed his steroid stash and how he injected himself. He did not do this to brag or to promote steroids. He did this to educate and to warn. He wanted to share his knowledge and experience with steroids and to help others who were interested in using them. He wanted to show the reality of steroids and the risks involved. He wanted to make people aware of the dangers and the long-term effects. He admitted that steroids were not healthy and that they could cause serious damage to the body and the mind. He said that steroids were addictive and that he was addicted to them. He said that steroids were a gamble and that he was gambling with his life. He said that steroids were not worth it and that he regretted using them. He said things like, "You are buying your death. You are shortening your life. Steroids are not the answer. They are not going to make you happy. They are not going to solve your problems. Steroids are a double-edged sword. They give you everything, and they take everything away. Steroids are a personal choice. You have to decide for yourself if you want to use them or not, but you have to know what you are getting into and what you are giving up." Rich Piana was not anti-steroid, nor pro-steroid. He was realistic, and he was honest. He acknowledged the benefits and the drawbacks of steroid use. He did not judge or condemn anyone who used steroids, or anyone who did not. He respected everyone's decision, and he asked for the same respect. He also recognized that steroids were a part of professional bodybuilding, and that they were necessary to compete at the highest level. He said that bodybuilding was not a natural sport, and that it was impossible to achieve the extreme physiques that were expected and rewarded in bodybuilding without steroids. He said that bodybuilding was an art form, and that steroids were a tool to create that art. He said that bodybuilding was his passion, and that steroids were his choice. He said that he loved bodybuilding, and that he loved steroids. He said that he was happy with his life, and that he was happy with his body. He said that he was Rich Piana, and that he was the most transparent bodybuilder in the world. Rich Piana was more than just a bodybuilder. He was a social media sensation, a supplement mogul, and a cultural icon. He had millions of followers, fans, and admirers who looked up to him and who supported him. He had his own brand, 5% Nutrition, which represented his lifestyle, his philosophy, and his community. He had his own slogan, "Whatever it takes," which embodied his attitude, his work ethic, and his determination. He was a leader, a mentor, and a friend to many people in the bodybuilding world and beyond. He was generous, charismatic, and inspirational. He was a legend and a hero, but he was also a human and a mortal. On August 7, 2017, Rich Piana collapsed in his home and hit his head. He was rushed to the hospital, where he was placed in a medically induced coma. He never woke up. He died on August 25, 2017, at the age of 46. The exact cause of his death is still unknown, and there is a lot of speculation and controversy surrounding it. Some say it was due to a heart attack caused by his steroid use. Some say it was due to a drug overdose involving cocaine, opiates, and other substances. Some say it was due to a genetic condition, unrelated to his lifestyle. The truth is, we may never know for sure what killed Rich Piana, but we do know what he lived for and what he left behind. Rich Piana left behind a legacy that is both impressive and controversial. He left behind a legacy that is both inspiring and cautionary. He left behind a legacy that is both admired and criticized. He left behind a legacy that is complex, and that is real. Rich Piana was not perfect, and he did not pretend to be. He was honest, and he was himself. He was a bodybuilder, and he was a steroid user. He was a success, and he was a warning. He was Rich Piana, and he was the most transparent bodybuilder in the world. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. I hope you appreciate Rich Piana's life and his message. I hope you respect his choices and his legacy. And I hope you think for yourself and make your own choices. What do you think of Rich Piana and his perspective on steroids? Do you agree or disagree with him? Do you admire or despise him? Do you love or hate him? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions and have a discussion with you. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.